Here we go. Oh, largemouth.
Came out of the water awful quick.
Yeah.
This week on Kentucky Afield,
This is definitely a better fish than the last one.
we're beating the heat and avoiding the crowds by hitting Lake Cumberland at night.
Not too bad.
Next,
Easy, buddy.
this time of year the fish can be pretty predictable. If you know where to find them, that can mean easy limits.
Just like that.
Then,
You're all about eating healthy.
need to make some room in the freezer?
So tell me, how did you guys come up with these recipes?
We'll show you a program that can help you out. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish. Beautiful. This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl. Hey, boy. That's a big rabbit. Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Mercy Leo.
Yeah, look at it, it's a keeper.
Here it goes. Boom. Wow, that happened fast. Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. There are many ways to beat the heat if you want to go fishing this summer, but my favorite method is night fishing. Well, Easton, you and I have done some fishing before, but this is the first time out on big water out of the boat.
That's right, and first time at night too.
You know, in the middle of the summer, I prefer fishing for bass and stripers and walleye, all of them, at
Anything.
night. I've kind of been getting a couple fishing reports, but I've been told two things. There's a lot of debris in the water,
Right.
and the other thing is that I've heard they're biting close to the dam. For someone who hasn't really done a whole lot of night fishing, there's a couple things that's pretty important. First off, I would start on a lake that you know
Right.
a little bit.
That makes sense.
That's pretty important. Second, man,
Life jackets.
they make these life jackets so light nowadays, they're really not that heavy. And the third thing is, before you take off and it gets dark, check your lights.
Yep.
So we're gonna make sure that all of our lights are working properly,
Okay.
because we don't wanna get
7 miles up the lake and not have
realize
lights.
that it'd be like trying to drive home with no headlights. We're gonna ease down that way and hopefully we catch a couple fish.
Catch a few.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. Oh, largemouth. That's about what hit me the first go.
Came out of the water awful quick.
Yeah. Well, I cast it up there. I cast it up here near that tree, that bush there,
Yeah.
and I swam it, and he hit it before it hit the ground. Whoop.
Quicker.
There he
release on
goes.
that one.
That's exactly right where he was going anyway.
That's
so
right.
Hopefully they get bigger.
Well, you got the skunk out of the boat.
There you go. Catch the aggressive fish tonight, we're gonna move. A lot of it will be moving with the big motor. We're going back that way. We're gonna leave the trolling motor down. And I mean, we're gonna move.
Cover the water.
Move. We're not gonna try to talk them into biting.
We're gonna find the ones that are already eating.
They're looking for us, so while we're looking for them. Here we go. This is definitely a better fish than the last one.
I'd say that's better, all right?
What do we got there?
Yeah, it's a little better fish than what you
A
had.
little better fish, different. Last one was a black bass. Well, a largemouth black bass. This is also a black bass, but this is a smallmouth.
It's a beautiful fish.
You know what? It ain't even dark yet. We've already had 3 bites, 2 fish in the boat. That's not too bad.
That's a good start to the day.
Uh-oh.
I hear the drag slipping.
That bait never hit the bottom. These fish are close. They are close to the bank. Gonna jump right here. There we
good
go.
fish.
Look at, there we go. Now,
Now you're doing it.
2 casts ago we caught one we said 15 inches. This one here would keep. Look at there. This is why
You come out at night.
you come out at night, and this is why Lake Cumberland, Dale Hollow, Laurel Lake, these crystal clear reservoirs, man, coming out here at nighttime, catching these fish is an absolute blast. Over 20. That fish is over 20 inches. This actually, in the state of Kentucky, over 20 inches is considered a trophy fish. So this fish here qualifies
For the trophy fish
for a
program.
trophy fish program. So it's over 20 inches, about 20 and a quarter. All right, hey, they're biting.
Let's do it.
Let's put a few more in the boat. Uh-oh, there we go. That thing hit it deep, way out here. Dang, is that a striper?
There's a drum.
It's a drum. Well, what do you know? That is a freshwater drum. Now, they get a lot bigger than this. I've caught them on swim bait stuff before, 30, 40 pounds, and I've seen them much bigger than that. That one's a little thin, and we got no use for him. We're gonna put him back.
That's right. Thanks for the fight, buddy.
There you go.
He hit it way out deep.
That thing hit it out here in 40 feet of water. Make that cast as close to the bank as I can, and then get that rod tip up in the air so that as it's falling, I'm kind of tracing that bottom, and then when all of a sudden, I can literally feel a little bit of pull on the end of the rod, and then
while it's sinking.
and I'll lift back up. Sometimes I'll pop it a few times, let it go back down. And the other good thing it does is it lets me know I always have good contact with the bait that way. What the heck was that? Look at that beast. Now, I was just talking about filling the bait.
Yeah.
Now, a fish that size hits, if you have any slack in your line at all,
You're not feeling it.
you don't know that fish hit. But with the way that I was demonstrating how I keep the line tight on the fall like that, any little touch, if you got a pretty sensitive rod, you'll feel that fish hit. That is a trophy.
It looks fishy up here. There's one.
Got him?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, he's not very big.
There you go.
I'll take it.
Pretty good fish.
I'll take it.
There you go.
Not too bad.
How did he smoke it or just kind of?
He tapped it twice and started swimming. I'll take it.
So Easton, you're constantly in communication with people who are wanting to know more about fishing. So for someone who says, you know, I'm willing to get back into fishing, it's an industry that is constantly changing.
Yep.
You can grab a rod and reel and a bobber and go fishing, and that's great. But if you kind of want to keep up with some of the trends or get back into fishing, what type of resources are out there for someone?
Online, there's resources all over that you can look at. We do these classes for people that maybe used to fish when they were younger and quit and got busy with school and all that. You know, our classes are great for somebody that's looking to get back into it, or a beginner that's never even been fishing. All the information that we use can be found on the website under education and then aquatic ed. And my contact info is on there as well. And like I said, we're always happy to answer questions and help somebody to try to get into it.
What do we got here?
Not too bad. A little better than I first thought.
Yeah. Tell you what, it's been a lot of fun. Crazy thing is once we kind of figured out these fish were out here on the main lake, it really hadn't mattered how we've tried to catch them. They've eaten
several different baits.
Whatever we've thrown.
Yeah.
But I've had a blast. I appreciate you coming out here fishing with me.
Appreciate you inviting me.
It's been a lot of fun.
Anytime we can come catch those, it's a good time.
I'll tell you what, I didn't plan to be out here all night, but I did plan for breakfast. What do you think? You about ready to go get a bite to eat?
Yeah, I'm ready when you
We're
are.
gonna get in at a reasonable time.
I'm not mad about that.
All right, it's been fun, man.
Been good. Appreciate it.
A summertime limit of crappie? Yes, it's possible. And for some people, it's their favorite time of year. So today we're out here on Barren River Lake with Tom Perkins. And Tom, you love to crappie fish, but you told me that August one of your favorite months, which most people who crappie fish would think that's the craziest thing they've ever heard.
Yeah, you can just about plan how many you're gonna catch each day. When the dog days of summer where it's every day is hot, it's more predictable. I need the net again.
There we go. And you're fishing 2-pound test,
Yes, sir.
and you're throwing a little white jig there. And for you, you say there's no really reason to throw too much else, huh?
No, I can't throw anything else. That's the only thing I got.
Limited by your tackle box, but if you're catching fish, then there's no limitations at all.
Yeah, I've been fishing that since 1990. And I was like every other crappie fisherman in the world, had a box with 40 colors, spent half my time going from one color to the other.
And the technique that you like is just drop it to the bottom right there in the brush pile and just reel it up, just like that, right there.
Or just like that. Another decent one. Easy, buddy.
There you go, just like that.
But they're good and healthy down here this year.
They sure are, they look great.
But the thing about this technique is once you figure out what depth they are, if you have enough brush piles, you can just move from spot to spot to spot. With the,
You got another one?
yes sir, I don't need the net.
Well, it looks like there's all sizes in here, that's good.
Yep, just caught him 2 years early. And I don't like to put my crappie right back where I'm fishing. I like to toss them out from the boat a little bit. I think they tell on you. Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you get one halfway to the boat and he gets off, it'll really slow your brush pile down. You do that a couple times, you might as well move.
A tattletale, huh?
Yeah, I think they give off some kind of scent. I have no way to prove it. Just my experience, if you let one get off, they really slow down.
Looks like a good one. Yeah. You got it?
Now that's a good keeper. See, that one's 10 inches. We just caught them better fish, but he's wide. He's got shoulders on him.
That's the kind you like if you're hungry.
Yep.
I'll take a thick one over a long one any day.
Yes, sir. You can see fish suspended over the top out there.
It's gonna be about exactly 15 feet, isn't it?
Just about, almost like I planned it. And you can see on this how much the brush comes up off the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
That's a key to having a good brush pile. Because if a cold front comes in or a high pressure system comes in, then fish got to move in the water column.
Mm-hmm.
If your brush pile is flat, they've got to move away from it. If your brush pile's got limbs that stick up, they can move up and down in the water column and they'll stay there.
That's perfect.
Like I say, we should catch a black crappie here.
Let me get that net.
I got it.
By golly, you called it.
Yeah.
Hey, when you can call what species of crappie you're gonna catch, that's pretty good. And you can see that the way to tell the difference on a black and a white crappie, you don't have the vertical lines. They're kind of just scattered a little bit everywhere. You can see how these little black marks are just everywhere on that fish.
The way I tell them, if I really want to know, you can count these spikes,
Yeah,
and a black will have at least 7. A white will just have 6.
okay.
See how the crappie's eyes are set on top of its head? Its mouth's even made to go up. A crappie will never feed down. You know, we're reeling by that fish in that brush pile, and as the bait comes out, he comes out of that brush and eats the bait. If you fish below them, you'll never catch one
Yeah,
because they won't look down because their eyes are on top of their head. A bass will look down. Crappie will never eat anything below it.
that's pretty good. Calling the species before he even turns the engine off.
Yeah, I'll have to get my diver to move to the next pile before we move.
You better radio in and tell him where we're going. You know, it's not like we went from fishing 4 feet to 15 feet and you change the species. We're at the exact same depth, just...
That was a big flat over there. It's probably 100 yards to the channel. Here it's 30 yards to the channel. You know, as we come in, we saw fish suspended over the channel over there, and they're really hard to catch. But the ones that are over this brush pile or in this brush pile up on the top of the point will eat.
Apparently so. There he is again.
This is a pretty good one here. See, there's a white mixed in right in with them.
Those fins will get you, won't they?
Another nice fish though.
It is a nice fish.
I think they'll average about 11 inches down here. on the average.
Yeah.
Net,
No, he feels like he's a little one. Look how little that is.
2 years early.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what, that's about as little as they get right there. Got me
Net that.
got me a spot now. They're getting bigger.
Yeah.
If the next one is as much bigger than the first one is,
Yeah,
this
you're
one,
gonna
then
have
I'm
a hog here in a
I'm gonna
minute.
have a good one. That one there's gonna be close, isn't he?
Nah, he'll make it.
There's another black crappie.
See, he's 10 inches.
10
He
inch.
just looks
Yeah.
small.
You've been throwing those 12 and 13 inch fish in there. It makes mine look so small.
Yeah.
Is that a good fish?
Yeah, there he come loose.
Look at that. It's a good one. That fish there was so close to the structure that he got
Yeah.
in there after he bit.
He pulled me in.
Uh-oh. He took your bait there, didn't he?
Yep. Nice fat fish, though.
That's a really nice fish.
Yep.
Another black crappie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Some of these brush piles that I fish, the Corps put out, or the Fish and Game Department.
And you can find
You know,
most
you
of
can
those
you
on
can
our
go on the
website.
internet, and they're marked.
Yeah.
Most of mine at No Lynn are marked, where people found them and put them on the internet.
Yeah.
There's no secret spots now.
Not with the internet and electronics.
Now we need the net.
We got one now. That one there, did that hit on the way down?
Yeah.
You never even got down to where you wanted to go. There you go. You called it again.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you had one. No, you got one. You got a good one. Nice fish.
Yep, that's a nice fish.
Not close to deep water, and you got your white crappie again.
Mm-hmm.
Our fall hunting seasons are right around the corner, and if you still have game in your freezer from last year, you need to explore Cook Wild, Kentucky. We're here today in Woodford County, and I'm here with Jan Nappage with the University of Kentucky. You're all about eating healthy. You're here with Cook Wild, Kentucky. Tell me what Cook Wild, Kentucky is.
So Cook Wild Kentucky is a new initiative with University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension where we are working on creating nutritious and delicious wild game recipes.
Okay, so if you're a hunter and a fisherman and you've got a recipe book, but you don't know, am I really eating healthy? This is a way where you can find out exactly what you're eating.
Yes. So we have a registered dietitian in our office who looks at each recipe. She will put it through this nutrition processor that we have, and she can tell us all the nutrients that are in it, from the macros, so that's your fats, your carbohydrates, your protein, down to your micronutrients like your vitamins and minerals. We are able to tell what are in each of these recipes.
And these recipes range from fish all the way to turkey and deer and rabbit, a little bit of everything.
Right. We were talking with Feeding Kentucky, formerly known as Kentucky Association of Food Banks. We were talking with their executive director, and she said, sometimes we get donated venison, and because people have lost touch with where their food comes from at times, people have been intimidated to cook this venison at home. So it comes in the ground form, 1 pound packages, and when they are offering it to clients at the food pantries, they might not take it because they're worried that they won't know how to cook it. So this was one way that University of Kentucky's nutrition education program knew that we could help, because we're always creating and taste testing recipes, and we said, we can do one small part and we can create recipes that are easy to follow, but then they meet the dietary guidelines for Americans, and so it's a win-win. It was really awesome to partner with Kentucky Fish and Wildlife, Kentucky Department of Agriculture, Feeding Kentucky, Hunters for the Hungry, to make this possible. Because I just think this is one avenue that Kentuckians can use to get those nutrients into their weekly, monthly meals.
So Elizabeth, we have some ground venison here today. And you're gonna make this deer camp sausage. So tell me, how did you guys come up with these recipes?
Well, so these recipes were put together through the SNAP Ed program, through the Cooperative Extension Service, and we really want these recipes to be nutritious, but we also want them to be good, and we want them to be tasteful, but also easy for people to make.
Okay.
So I'll show you the recipe. It's very simple. Anybody who has ever taken a deer has likely had ground venison. As you know, with ground venison, it's very lean. So we are gonna add a little bit of ground pork.
Okay.
So that, of course, is gonna add just a little bit of flavor, and that's not only gonna add just a little bit of fat, it's still gonna be a nutritious meal, but it's also gonna add just a little bit of flavor, and it's gonna make it a little more tender when we cook this up.
So the great thing about this is, regardless of what time of year, what type of species, there are recipes for about every taste.
Yes.
And at any time of year.
That's right.
From fish to duck.
Exactly, and with these recipes, that's what we want. We want people to know all these different ways that you can cook it, and you can edit it in your kitchen, you know, do what your family likes. So in this recipe, there's a variety of different seasonings here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that in with my hands.
So for a person who wants to make this at home, they can get the exact recipe at what website?
That's right, at planeatmove.com.
Okay.
All of these recipes are available.
Okay, and also the county extension offices have recipe cards as well.
Yes, so the county extension offices in Kentucky, in every county we have an extension office, these recipe cards are available. You can just stop in and ask them for the Cook Wild Kentucky recipe cards and we'll have those for them. So now we're gonna make patties, and the recipe makes about 16 patties, depending on the size, of course. And we're gonna go ahead and fry those up in the skillet. Here is our sausage.
That smells fantastic.
It smells wonderful. So there is our healthy deer camp breakfast sausage.
So, and this here, all the nutritional value is all right here. You guys have already calculated it all out. What have been your favorite recipes so far?
Well, so this is one of my favorite recipes, but as far as the Cook Wild Kentucky program goes, I have done a little bit with teaching people how to cook wild game, because of course it's different than just cooking beef or pork.
Tell me your one tip you give a person that's going to try cooking wild game for the first time. What would that one tip be?
Low and slow.
Okay.
Yes.
Low and slow.
Yes.
I'm going to give this a try if you don't mind.
Yeah. Give it a try. Give it a bite.
Pinch off a piece of this. See what we've got here. Looks great.
You can smell the sage and the oregano.
It's a great idea, and I look forward to utilizing most of these recipes.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you so much for showing us this, and
here.
Deer Camp Sausage. Can't beat it. So Becky, we're learning about all these opportunities to prepare wild game, and you're with Field to Fork with the Department of Fish and Wildlife. This has got to be a perfect match for you.
It really is. We're super excited to share these resources with those who participate in Field to Fork. We're actually going to link the planeatmove.com website to the Field to Fork webpage at fw.ky.gov.
So you're really introducing people who are interested in the outdoors, interested in hunting, but really don't know, how do I get involved? What is the next step past just having some interest?
Right.
Well, then there's another big barrier. When a person goes out there and they have no idea how to handle or process their game, they take an animal, then they're like, wow, now what? Well, you're making this whole transition much easier for
We're trying to, yeah. We got feedback from the public. They wanted to learn how to hunt, but then they want to know how to get the meat on the table. So that's the whole fork part of Field to Fork, is teaching them how to cook it. And now we're really excited they can know exactly what's going on their plate nutrition-wise with these recipes.
It's a great fit for your program with Field to Fork, and having the resources now for people to generate these recipes, share these recipes, and then give all the nutritional values. It really is a perfect program for you guys.
Yes, it is.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have 16-year-old Logan Wilson, who got this super impressive 11-point buck in Washington County. Looks like he knows to hunt the soybeans. Here we have 6-year-old Hunter Riley with a nice 8-point buck. His very first deer ever he took in Carter County, Kentucky. Nice job. Here we have 6-year-old Xavier Wurtzler with a catfish caught at Lake Lusby in Scott County, Kentucky. Nice job. Check out how happy Eden Bailey is. She's 10 years old and she just caught her first largemouth bass. Congratulations. Here we have Hunter Schuler with a really nice black crappie that was caught out of a private farm pond. Nice fish. Has 2020 been a rough year for you? Well, maybe you need to get outdoors, take in some fresh air, and social distance in style. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.